Underwear bombers, crazy Christians, snow in Buffalo, and terms we don't want to hear again. And now the news, or bust style.
Holy days indeed. So your dad walks into an embassy in Nigeria and narcs you out. He says you've fallen in with a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. You're acting kind of extreme. Your dad's a powerful banker. And what do? You know? If you're Umar Farouk already refused a visa to enter Britain because you made up the college that you're supposedly going to attend, well, you strap on your special underwear with 80 grams of explosive substance PETN sewn into the crotch. You know this kid was serious, very determined. Ouch. Balzacs. Then catch a Northwest flight to Detroit. Detroit, of course. What a place. Of course, of all American targets, Detroit is one we really find sacred. Not to mock TSA screeners, but this beloved reporter has a dog named Stu, who you all love. And Stu is a registered service dog. Important for emotional stability, reads the letter from my shrink, so I see the holes in the system. Still the debate rages which database Umar was on, the one with 18,000 or 500,000 names of a-holes who shouldn't be flying, especially Nigerians who are so trustworthy online, you know, grandma getting letters, a huge inheritance from some prince from Nigeria, any scam in the book. Try to sell a car on Craigslist and you'll meet a Nigerian. Anyway, Nigerians with Al-Qaeda connections in Yemen, don't let them get on planes. And also, speaking of a-holes, Republican Peter+King used a football analogy for the near-catastrophic Christmas Day bombing attempt of Flight 253, saying, quote, he, Umar, got to the 1-yard line. Thank you, Mr. King. Real precise. What a jackass. Speaking of a-holes, other Republicans are personally blaming Obama for his brethren trying to bomb us, in addition to the economy, as the world turns being canceled, and why Miley+Cyrus can't pose nude yet. Evidence is emerging that this single event may not be so singular, and a payback of sorts. Now let's look at what happened. Umar's daddy went in and blew him in. The CIA took the information, created a report, and never passed it on. Now suddenly, after some jackass burns himself and a couple passengers on a flight to Detroit, now the White House and the CIA and the Pentagon are talking about targets in Yemen. Do you think they were just waiting for this? Was this the perfect opportunity for us to justify what we've already been doing? Bombing the shit out of the Middle East, making more enemies, you know. We're also targeting extreme Yemenis, online scammers in Nigeria, turd farmers in the Sudan, and Juan Valdez, the Colombian coffee picker, because his beans aren't offering the white-hot rush that other Colombian exports offer on New Year's Eve. Think about it, people. Stuff is related, too coincidental, too easy of a scapegoat. Other stupid religious acts. Pope Benedict is pissed, more so than when that young lady yanked him to the holy floor during his midnight, actually 10 p.m. Mass on Christmas Eve. That was hilarious footage. I don't care how holy you are. That's pretty funny. The Secret Service guy actually yanked him down, but, you know, that's other stuff. The first gay marriage was held in Latin America, a stronghold of Catholic anti-condom campaigns and crucifixion reenactments, with two men kissing long and lovingly in Argentina. Oh no, God is crying, baby Jesus, baby Jesus. Not to be outdone, Robert Park, an American Christian who told his family he was soon going to do something totally stupid, snuck into North Korea to spread the good word on Christmas Eve, only to be detained and is now praying for mercy from our dear leader, Kim Jong very ill. Time to slur Muhammad. We can't just go after Christians, though they are probably the stupidest, well, up there with Mormons and Scientologists. But 1,500 or so years ago, the Prophet Muhammad's grandson was martyred at the Battle of Karbala, with Muhammad fasting in remembrance. Ever since, Ashura has been a day of both hunger and heinous acts of violence. Untold Iranians have been killed and arrested as the government still tries to quell protests for reform, with leading lawmakers demanding, quote, the harshest punishment, end quote, to those who disrupted Ashura, a day commemorating a violent death. Rarely upstaged when it comes to violence, Pakistan saw at least 40 killed in a suicide bombing in Karachi on Ashura. Survivors of the explosion then turned on police, attacking them with sticks and stones for not protecting them while commemorating a violent death. Good stuff. Other big news. It's snowing in Buffalo, 11 inches in hours, which only makes the residents more angry at their bills for losing again this week. China executed Akmal Sheikh, the first British citizen executed by China in 53 years, for smuggling nearly 8 pounds of heroin. Defenders of Akmal say he was mentally ill, while others say that he had been bragging that he was going to get higher than Tibet. The decade was a total bummer for Wall Street. Yep. You know, just awful stocks. We're finally getting it back. Thanks, Bush. We really should have invested Social Security. Yet there were some remarkable gains for gold, up 269% over the decade, and oil, up 230%, 12% in the past 2 weeks. Thanks, Exxon. But my collection of Kennedy Pez dispensers is still holding strong. Other news, stuff we shouldn't care about at all. Congratulations to retailers for freaking us all out on Black Friday and saying that if we don't buy the new leopard print Snuggie or the Obama Chia Pet, our world will totally explode. Sales were up, whatever that means, compared to last year. Online shopping jumped 51%, jewelry nearly up 30%, though it plummeted last year. Tech sales were up 5%, but scam gift cards plummeted. It's a good time to buy a car, so the TV tells me, and internet porn should be more of a hobby than a profession. Terms I never want to hear again. Job saved. Octomom. Balloon Boy. Glenn Beck. Destination Resort. Government option. Republican unity. Dick Cheney. Pelosi leads. Arab allies. Author Sarah Palin. Tiger wins. Celibacy programs. Green movement. Hope. And Alternative Weekly. In closing, an awesome 911 transcript. Does he still have a knife? Yeah, he still has the knife. What's your husband's name? It's Charlie+Sheen. That's the news, folks. It's been a hell of a year. Boy, oh boy, we really did it. This is our 77th episode. Crazy. Since the end of March, we started shooting this fiasco known as Or+Bust. Quite an adventure. We've lived up to it. We have shot a new episode every 3 days, give or take. We've had a lot of fun. Exposed you to the West Coast, Pacific Northwest, across America, the North, Woodstock. We got real stoned up there. Then we came down to Virginia. Got kicked out of most of the historical triangle. You know, good stuff. Where to next? Probably jail. I need a hug. Stu? Stu's having a good time. He's totally healed up. Stronger than ever. He's a good boy. Anyways, thanks to everybody. Pam Martin and Boris, Kelly Collins, Mike Wanger, Bend, Oregon, the clan Lockwood. My God, who can't we forget? Nick, you did a great job while you were here briefly. Stuart Gleek, all of our superstar friends, and our beauty, Harrietta. We'll see you next year.